Today I fucked up by unintentionally ruining someone's day with a deer. Alright guys, I'm still reeling with guilt from this. As I was leaving my apartment complex this morning, I saw a young buck, not a metaphor, a legit deer, outside the main door. No worries, I think to myself, he'll be more scared of me than I of him. So I open the door and confidently walk out. He apprehensively starts walking away. Now, I was hoping that he would walk to the side of the complex, you know, where the woods are. But nope, he goes straight to the parking lot up front, right by my car. Well, great. I'm running late already and I need to get going. So I walk toward my car. It's at this point that he starts to nervously look back at me and get skittish. I can sense the tension rising and feel a moment coming. And the second I got to my car, well, he lost it. Panic mode must have kicked in and flight won the inner battle of his fight or flight instinct. So he full on sprints away, right into the street. As soon as he starts running, I hear an incoming car, and, sure enough, the timing could not have been more tragically perfect. A minivan struck the buck at full speed, fortunately at a suburban 35 miles per hour, causing the buck to, and this is not an exaggeration, pinwheel 12 feet in the air, fall on a field, and run away. The real FU cackled. It was the funniest thing I have seen in a long time. The spindly legs, the sound, the perfection of the worst luck possible, it was just too much. And then I immediately think of that poor minivan driver. I definitely, 100% ruined that poor person's day. The van pulled over and stayed there for about 30 seconds and then drove off. And I hope they didn't see me or realize what happened. I hurriedly packed up my car and drove the opposite way. And that's how I completely unintentionally ruined someone's day. Too long didn't read, I scared a deer that ran straight into the street and was clipped by a minivan and I laughed. Whoops. Think the deer's day was worse. Dear Diary, today I got yeeted 12 feet into the air, but I survived long enough to die in embarrassment in the woods since the dude that scared me off was laughing at me. See you on the other side. /deer. There is no fate but what we make for ourselves. Seems a bit harsh to blame yourself for where an animal ran when you unintentionally startled it. It's not like you herded it into traffic on purpose. I think the guilt I feel is that I laughed at the misfortune of it all, knowing that if it had been my car that he'd crashed into, I'd be kind of pissed. I appreciate you casting the blame away from me though. I bagged a buck once and when we got it to the butcher he came running out to stop us from leaving. Turns out the deer had gangrene, probably from a car accident. The deer was going to have to be destroyed and he was a little miffed because he had to shut down and clean an entire section of his shop now. It looked shamrock shake pooling on the ground from its neck. Honestly though, you are only responsible for that buck getting ragdolled in the same way the butterfly is responsible for the hurricane. Oh dear. Today I fucked up by talking my boyfriend out of wanting the iPad I was going to surprise him with for Christmas. So my boyfriend wanted to get an iPad to replace his old Chromebook. Christmas is around the corner along with our 1-year anniversary, so I thought that I should get him an iPad as a combined gift for both. He was seriously looking for old iPads on eBay since he didn't want a new one. I was doing the same and looking for decent iPads that would match the description and the price range he wanted it around because I didn't want to get an overly expensive one and make him feel uncomfortable. His search was getting a bit intense and he is a lot better with technology than I am. I then thought that I should talk him out of buying one for now so I can get it for him. We had an hour-long conversation over the phone about why he shouldn't get an iPad now since he doesn't need it and that he can use his Chromebook and his desktop etc. He said that I was totally right and that he doesn't need one. I continued my search for the perfect iPad. I spoke to him about the iPad casually just to make sure he wasn't looking for one after our conversation. He then said that he would not get one for a very long time and that he would not feel right to use it even if he got one just because he wanted one because it won't serve the purpose for which he originally thought it would serve. I then realized that I've not only talked him out of buying an iPad for now, but that I've managed to talk him out of buying one forever. I came clean to him and hoped that I could convince him that I can get one for him, but he burst out laughing. Told him he loved me and that he really appreciates the thought, but that he really doesn't want one anymore. Too long didn't read. I tried to surprise my boyfriend with an iPad for Christmas, but in trying to stop him buying one I accidentally talked him out of wanting one at all. And the secret LPT here, more so for your boyfriend: don't buy yourself big ticket things around the holidays. Unless it is seriously dire, something has fully crapped out and must be replaced immediately. Just wait the few weeks or a month till after whatever holiday is happening, and if you don't get your item, get it then. Like op, you just never know. While I mostly agree with this, you run the risk of not getting it as a present and missing all the holiday sales for getting it yourself. Maybe just buy it yourself and make sure there's a solid return policy in case you later get it as a present. Calculated risk otherwise. Let's take a moment to recognize that even you admit that he is better with tech than you, and he still took your advice that he may not need it. Regardless of the shitty choice in looking for iPads to begin with, playful face, that man has character and is comfortable enough with himself to take advice from someone he loves and trusts. He's a keeper op, as long as there's not something crazy you haven't mentioned. While I get you fucked up, you did even better by making him realize how lucky he is to have a woman like you. He sounds like a very lucky guy. Even if you did talk him out of it, I think you've made him very happy, and that's worth far more than an iPad. Today I fucked up because habits don't die. Habits don't die. Today I fucked up. I have lived a good 90% of my life in Asia, Singapore to be precise. But now I'm in Texas working a well-paid job. So I flew from the States back to Singapore for a week to spend some time with my family after not being home for a couple of years. A week later I was in the flight taking me back to the States because the leave I applied for was over. The whole flight I was relaxed and stuff, but 10 minutes before we were supposed to land, the captain announces that we're going to land in Texas. Wait, what? Texas? But I was supposed to be in Singapore, right? Am I in the wrong flight? If I was in the wrong flight, why didn't nobody come to claim the seat I was sitting on? Just so you know, the plane was jam-packed. I started panicking. I was on the verge of crying. It took me a while before I realized that I just came back from Singapore and I'm going to Texas because I live there. Because I have a job. Thank God. Also, just so you guys know, I'm a 25-year-old with the worst memory and the brain of a child. Too long didn't read, cried and panicked before I realized that I live in Texas. Then he got off the plane, ate some brisket, and realized all was right with the world. The end. Damn man, I feel you. Must been a hell of a panic attack too. Flight or fight response. You were tired and ready to go home. Evidently part of your brain still registers Singapore as home. The first time I rode on a plane solo was kinda like this. This was years ago during a spring break trip. I was 18 to 19 at the time, traveling from Illinois to Virginia to visit some extended family. I had flown on a plane before, but not by myself. I board the plane and find that I get a whole row to myself. Sweet. I get comfy and order my soda and snack. Seemed like just minutes after receiving my drink, we are starting our descent. I knew this was a short flight, but I was thinking we had at least another hour. Then the announcement comes on, blah blah blah, welcome to, not city I was supposed to go to. Immediately I start to internally panic. My flight itinerary did not mention a stop or plane change. Did I just get on the wrong plane? How did they let me on? Where do I go? How do I get to where I'm going / home? Am I stuck here? As soon as the door opens and I'm about to turn my phone on, another announcement comes on, all passengers continuing on to VA, please remain seated. Wanna get away? Must have been on Southwest Airlines. My very first commercial flight was only my second flight. I was going from my home in very rural USA to Disneyland. The catch was that I was a chaperone for a very mentally disabled man who literally couldn't talk or use the bathroom by himself. So I get to Denver International, having never been in a major airport before and barely having spent time in a real city, and I have to figure everything out by myself while this guy is in tow, completely clueless. I was so goddamn scared I was going to board the wrong flight, miss the flight, lose something, lose him. Finally we get on the plane, and then land at LAX and the same damn thing. Now I'm trying to find our luggage and our ride to the hotel and all this, while never, ever letting go of my buddy's hand. The return flight was so much better, until the last 20 minutes when he suddenly decided to start making noise on a completely silent plane. Just like a happy little E, but very, very loudly. It scared the crap out of me and half of the other passengers. I was thoroughly unprepared for that adventure, but it was one of the highlights of my life so far.